Hello everybody, me again. Just decided to do another one of those story time videos. Today is another one that I wrote. It's in the same vein as I don't sleep in the old dacha anymore. Sergei is back with another story of his experiences from the motherland. So sit tight, and I hope you enjoy it. The Body in the Crate. Hello everyone, Sergei again. I was very glad to see you enjoyed my story about the dacha, so I thought you might like to read something else that happened to me. This was back in 1991, around the time the Union was dissolved. It was a strange time, periods of eerie calm and utter chaos in the space of just a few days. You drive past a military base one week, and the next the place would be almost gone. Vultures and jackals picking clean the remains of a once great nation. I regret to admit that I had been involved in that, ferrying equipment from place to place for various illicit arms dealers and corrupt military officials, trying to make money out of the situation. Times were hard then, and my company had to take any job it could find. I am not proud of it. One particular job involved picking up some cargo to be disposed of from a scientific institute in an area about 800 kilometers northeast of Krasnoyarsk city. It was located next to a lake. I saw massive dredging machines, boats of various sizes, and what looked like a submarine dock. I took a peek inside one of the boxes that they had laid out for me and found many documents. From what I recall of my quick look, they were about investigating something buried at the bottom of the lake. I remember distinctly the words extraterrestrial origin and impact event. Nobody around seemed to care that I was snooping. From what I gathered from talking to others at the time, many of them weren't being paid due to the situation in Moscow, so they probably had no sense of loyalty to their superiors anymore and just wanted to do their jobs as quickly as possible. I asked one of them why these things were being disposed of, as some of the dates were quite recent. And he said that the facility administrator wanted them gone because if the UN came sniffing around now that the Union wasn't there to stop them, people there would be in deep shit. I knew what he meant. The facility had been conducting illegal experiments and they wanted the evidence destroyed. I helped the men move the various boxes and crates onto the bed of my truck. When I asked for a form to sign, I was curtly told that there was no paperwork for this job. I didn't bother asking why. Cover up to done off the books. I left the facility in a hurry, not wanting to stay there any longer than I had to. I had been driving for a few hours and it had grown dark. There were some noises coming from the truck bed, but I didn't pay them much notice. The boxes weren't secured very well, so I thought something had come loose and was rattling around. I think I drove for another hour before I pulled over and decided to sleep, stopping at an empty rest area off the highway. I didn't sleep very long because the noises became louder and more frequent. It couldn't have been something loose because the truck was stopped. I got out and decided to investigate. Climbing up into the truck bed, there was one crate that had definitely moved from where we had put it. It was large, rectangular. I looked around for any kind of label, but there was none. So I grabbed a crowbar and prized off the lid. What I saw inside made me drop the lid again and shout in dismay. Inside the box, wrapped in tarpaulin, was what was unmistakably a corpse. It wasn't moving. I thought to myself, Christ, these arseholes have me transporting a body. All that ruckus earlier must have been the poor bastard trying to escape. I slowly moved back over to the crate, lifting the lid and taking another peek. It still wasn't moving. I called out to whoever it was, reaching down to tap the tarpaulin to see if I could get a response. It suddenly started screaming, thrashing around and banging what I guess was its head against the side of the crate. I started trying to pull the tarpaulin off to release what was now very obviously a living man and not a corpse. I didn't get very far. Before I knew what was happening, a mottled and disfigured-looking hand grabbed hold of my arm, throwing me aside so hard that I hit my head against another crate and was knocked unconscious. I awoke to the sun hitting my face. I looked around and saw no sign of the man in the crate. I checked myself out and, apart from a painful knot on my head, I was unharmed. I climbed out, still feeling groggy and disoriented from my bout of unconsciousness. As I walked around, trying to get my head straight and wake my legs up, I noticed footprints in the dirt. I followed the trail to where it entered the forest and looked around. Several branches had been broken along a path deeper into the woods. I figured that the man had escaped from the truck and run into the trees. I quickly decided that I had best not investigate further. I went back up to the truck, closed up the now empty crate, and got behind the wheel again. I made my delivery at the disposal site and drove back to the depot without stopping. I never breathed a word of this to anyone until now. I fear that if I talk too much, what's left of the Union will decide that I am a loose end that needs to be tied up. I hope my telling you this story will not bring the KGB to my door. До свидания. I think I'll probably write some more of these stories at some point when I've got a bit of inspiration. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and please look forward to the next one.